Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another live stream Tuesday. I hope you guys had a good Monday and that your week has started well. I'm going to skip that advert instantly, and I hope that things are comfortable where you are from a heat perspective. Here in the UK, we have started our fourth heat wave of the year. Now, in the UK, normally, if we get one heat wave, we tend to feel like, well, we were lucky in that we might have had some hot weather during the summer, and one heat wave is enough. So to get 2, it's a little bit crazy. To have 3 is, yeah, beyond ridiculous. So now the 4th one is, yeah, unprecedented for us people here in the UK. I know that people in other countries are used to heat, but we're not used to it here. So we have, well, certainly I have, I don't think everybody has access to air conditioners and air conditioning systems, but I have the air conditioning unit on 11 at the moment, so everything is just about manageable in this room. So yeah, I mean, it's not super hot at the moment. Today it was 33.4 degrees Celsius, so not up and around kind of high 30s or low 40s. We'll see where we end up with the temperatures, but certainly, yeah, anything in the 30s for us it is a little bit over the top from a heat perspective, and it's very difficult for us to stay cool in our houses that have thick walls and carpets and everything made to keep the rooms warm. When it's warm outside, keeping the rooms warm inside obviously has doubled the effect, and it's not very comfortable. But yeah, we have the air conditioner set to 11, so everything's just about all right at the moment in this room. But I can see that we've got you guys in the live chat room already, so hello to you. And let's give you guys a quick shout out. We have Ninja Kitty, Lydia, Howard, Melody Rocks, Alison, and Hermes Ninja, Pegasus 1967, Laugh Out Loud Can, and Jennifer, Georgia Girl 625. I'm kind of skipping through them very quickly because they're moving so quickly that I can't really keep track of them. But let me have a look there. Was that Sue that went through? And I'm reading out the usernames rather than using the first names, because some people have usernames which aren't actually their names. But then I say their names even when I'm reading out their usernames. But sometimes I do it the opposite way. So anyway, Karen's going through that as well. Good example there. Belladonna, Alison, Paul as well. Diamond Girl, Angela, Susie Q. We're not going to do this for the whole live stream. But thank you guys for joining me tonight on this Tuesday night. And let me get the names of my patrons up on screen because they make this all possible in the first place. So a massive shout out to you guys at the bottom of the screen. You know who you are. They make everything possible on the channel, the live streams, the analysis videos, all of the videos that I've done in the past. Now, something that I'm thinking about doing, obviously when I have more time, or should I say when I have less time, is that the beginning of the live stream, sometimes over on Patreon, people request Amelia, and there's a version of my song Amelia where I'm playing acoustic guitar, and then I play acoustic guitar again and harmonise with myself. And there's the album version. Now, the album version doesn't ever get played on the live streams because I don't have a video for it, and it's very boring just to look at a picture and listen. So what I might try and do at some point in the future, like I said, when I've got less time, or I might try and make a time window for this, to make a video for Amelia, the album version, so that we can play it on the live streams. And what I'd also like to do is take some of my old videos, and I know that sometimes the quality of them are a little bit rubbish, especially maybe some of the live stream videos that I did, the live performance videos, and upscale them, so make them look a little bit better, and then play those on the live streams, and maybe make them a bit better and have those available over on Patreon as well. So yeah, I've got these ideas of kind of making things a little bit better quality and all that kind of stuff, but just having a video for Amelia I think would be cool, so I will try and do that at some point. Now it means that, like with the Paris Nord video that you've just seen, I took the performance of Paris Nord and cut up all of the images of me singing to then fit the album version of Paris Nord. Now the problem with that is it takes a long time, because when you're just playing a song, you're not necessarily, or I'm not listening to the original and getting the timing exactly right. So it means that you might be singing a bit faster and playing a bit faster, or you might be singing and playing a little bit more slowly. So then when you try and set that to an album version, you'll find that the timing is off. So then you have to try and edit, you cut up the images and then have to move them into the right place to fit the tempo of the album track. So it might take a long time. It might not, depending on how closely I match the tempo when I actually did Amelia with my acoustic guitar. So we will find out, but that's something that is on my to-do list for people that do request that at the beginning of the live streams. So yeah, maybe I'll just have some time where I kind of get into the videos, try and do that, and upscale the old videos and then release them either on Patreon or just play them here on the live streams. Anyway, back to tonight's live stream, because we are potentially going to be having a jam at the end of the live stream. And in order to have that jam, we need to hit 445 likes. So if you could leave a thumbs up as you come through the door, that would be very much appreciated. And let's see where we are at the moment with our likeometer, 230. That's a good start. It means we're looking for 215. Maths nice and easy to begin with. So yeah, if you guys can hit the thumbs up, that would be great. And if we do hit the target, we'll bust out the guitar. Like I said, number 258 now, which is a little bit crazy. Now, the other thing is, and somebody said, was it in a live stream or not? I can't remember. But somebody said, what happens when you start to repeat the backing tracks? I think this was last time. But yeah, but Joe has since let me know that so far in 258 tracks, we haven't had a repeat. So I've played over 258 random things. So, I mean, it's good to know. Joe's keeping track of all of it, of course, and making sure there are no repeats. So, I did say that, I think there are new backing tracks being made all over the world all the time. So I'm sure that Joe can find new ones that we haven't played over. And even if it was an old backing track like number 157, I don't remember the backing tracks, so I just load up and then play, and whatever it is, it is. So that's the way that I approach it. But it's good to know that I've never played over the same thing twice. And yeah, tonight will be no different. Number 258. We will see what happens with that one. Right. Now, the donations tab, let me get that on screen, because you don't have to donate. Just watching is great. But for those people that can't resist donating, I think it's important that you know between 45 and 60% goes to YouTube through the Super Chat window, and between 3 and 5% goes to PayPal through the PayPal link, which you can find in the description below. So yeah, you don't have to donate, but those are the percentages just in case a donation thing accidentally happens and you can't resist it. So now I know there have been donations in the Super Chat window. I'll get to those in a second. By the way, we do have the Q&A section, which I have set up at the top of the live chat room. If you want to ask a question, then type it in there. Later on in tonight's live stream, I'll just have a random look through there, pick out some, and answer some questions that are in there. But we also have the vote for tonight's cover video, which is between A Design for Life and Miles Away. So whichever one of those you want to hear, then click on that. Obviously it's going to be my version of either of those tunes. So it's a Manic Street Preachers and a Winger Showdown for tonight. What a mix of bands that is. So let's get into the donations that have happened so far. Paul donated $5, so thank you for that, Paul. And the message was 598,000 subscribers. Awesome. Let's have fun tonight and spike the likes. All y'all. Peace, love, and rock. So thank you for that, Paul. And let's have a look at this. Yes, 498,000 subscribers. I mean, the thing is, when I say the numbers, it doesn't really sink in. I don't really take in the number, but it's a ridiculous number. That's probably why I don't take it in. So it's 498,000 subscribers, not 498. It's 498,000. So thank you everyone for subscribing and hitting the notification bell, which you will need to do in order to get notified for the videos. But even then, you still might not get notified for the videos, so make sure that you head over to patreon.com/Wings of Pegasus and become a free member over there, so then you get an email for every video if you want it, and never miss one, because some people do request videos and I've literally done it a week or two before, so yeah, it's important to get notified. But 498,000, which is great. Thank you guys. We'll keep on pushing forward. We are closing in on 500,000, but we don't take anything for granted. Just where we are at the moment, it's absolutely fine. Now, what I have started to notice on the channel, which I guess is quite a positive move, but something that falls in line with my authentic vocal project as well, which is something that, yeah, I'll be pursuing more in the future. But I'm finding more, as I get through my request list, more and more requests for looking at live performances of bands and artists that are performing live at the moment, because people want to know what they're going to be watching before they pay money. And I understand why I'm getting so many of these requests, because ticket prices are crazy. So people really want to know what they're going to be watching before paying however many, potentially hundreds of dollars. I know that it can go into thousands of dollars as well, but even hundreds of dollars or hundreds of pounds is a lot of money to spend, especially when, you know, money is tight and things seem to be getting more expensive day by day. So yeah, I understand all of the requests, and it means that, yeah, I'm being asked to look at live performance videos that have happened, obviously, you know, recently, 2025. And I have to say that, I mean, the last few videos, I can remember Oasis. I was asked to look at them, and yeah, everything there was fully live, and the vocals are fully live. And yeah, I'm just pointing out that, yeah, they are genuinely doing it. And then Sting, I think, was that the last video? That might have been the last video, where again I'm pointing out it's all fully live, and you know, Sting's singing live, performing live, and that is great because it's just a three-piece. But I mean, it's a double-edged sword, because either it's going to be me pointing out that yes, it's all live and that's what you're paying your money for, or it's going to be it's potentially not live and you're paying, as long as you understand, you're paying for a lip-synced performance. Now, I guess because I make my videos and I read my requests, and whenever somebody makes a request for a video, I look at it as soon as I get the email. And because I've been doing it a very long time, when people send me 3 videos, I'll quickly have a look at one for 5 or 10 seconds, quickly look at the second one, 5 or 10 seconds, and same for the third. And generally, in that period of time, so maybe 30 seconds, I've got a good idea of what's going on. And it's not always good. So this is the problem. I guess it's not a problem, but this is what I find sometimes a bit difficult about doing objective analysis videos, is when you are a fan of the particular band and I'm looking through a request and I know what's going on, it is a bit of a disappointment for me personally, thinking, oh, it is a shame, especially when I'm kind of already assuming that I'm about to watch 3 separate totally live performances, and it might be something completely different to that. So yeah, but rest assured, I will still cover these requests that are coming through that, yeah, are people and bands that I'm a fan of. I do keep everything objective, and it's important for people to know what they're going to be watching, because I know that people do, you know, watch the videos and then make their decisions after watching it, which I think is, you know, how it should be and how it is really for every other thing that you buy in the world ever. You generally, and I do, if I'm going to buy something, I go and look at reviews, so that the person says, you know, if the person, lots of people say, oh, I got this, it took 5 weeks to be delivered and then it was broken. Generally, if everyone's saying that, then you think, well, I'm going to look for something else. So you think, well, yeah, why can't you do objective reviews of music performances and and live shows and tours, because it's just exactly the same thing, knowing what you're going to get. Especially, and, it's not like spending 40 or 50 pounds on something, or even 10 or 15 pounds, where you do reviews on it and you read about it first. We're talking about potentially hundreds of pounds. So it is, like an investment. Sometimes you have to save up in order to afford enough to go and watch the particular gig. And then if you imagine saving up for months and you turn up and you realize, oh, I thought it was going to be live, but it isn't. I can't think of anything worse than that, having saved up so much money to go and see it, and to kind of be disappointed with the product at the end. But anyway, I'll keep on doing what I do, but this is certainly the case on the channel recently. People asking me to check out live performances and let them know what's going on before they buy tickets. But anyway, let's jump into that super chat window again, because Orlando has donated $5. Thank you for that. And the message is, I'm attending a New York Yankees game tonight. I will watch the replay. Hit that like button. Reach that goal. New chatters, subscribe with a thumbs up and what looks like a little mouse, and not a I was just about to say, and not a human mouse. It looks like a mouse, but not an actual mouse. A human mouse, not a real mouse, but a computer mouse. At least that's what it looks like. I might be wrong, but it looks like that from what I can see on the screen. It's always very small when I'm trying to read and see, because I've got so many windows open. So, and I'm talking about windows on the computer, not, if I did have windows open, it'd be too hot because it had ridiculous hot air coming in. Right, anyway, thank you for that, Orlando. And Jennifer's donated $7 as well, so thank you for that, Jennifer. And the message is, Phil, Linda wants to know what your favourite project has been, and hope you are cooler than I am in California. Thanks for all you do. Take care. So thank you for that. And I'm probably marginally cooler because I think California is generally hotter than the UK. But it's still borderline uncomfortably warm. Even though I have got the air conditioning on 11, it's still, I can feel it's still a bit warm. Right. What my favourite project was, or has been, I don't know whether that relates to the cover videos, or I don't know. Well, maybe I'd have to say my favorite project are the analysis videos, because that's like, each one of those is a project, really. I know that there are lots of channels on YouTube that make videos of looking at performances, and some will be reaction videos where they're loading up what they're going to watch, and they watch it, and that's the video. So their video might take 10 or 15 minutes, and sometimes I've seen reaction videos that have been like 6 minutes or 7 minutes, and the performance they're looking at is 4 minutes. So the video, really, they're watching the performance, but them actually talking is 3 minutes. But with my videos, it is like a project each time, because it means that, for example, one of the videos I'm prepping at the moment, I've got 3 separate performances. Actually, 2 of the videos I'm prepping at the moment, I've got, one of them has 3 separate videos. The other one, I think, has 10. So I take all of these videos, and sometimes I don't use all of the videos that I'm analyzing, i.e. isolating vocals, running them through pitch monitoring software, comparing graphs, seeing what's going on. The reason that I've got 10 videos is that somebody sent me 2 recordings, and these 2 recordings were from separate shows the next day, one day after the next. So in those videos, I was listening to them and I thought, I know what's going on here, but it's crowd shot footage. So it means that you've got to deal with ambient noise and all that kind of stuff. But deep down, I know what's going on in that particular performance. So because I want to be thorough, I then got 8 other live performances, recent live performances of this particular artist, and did the same with all 8. So now, rather than comparing 2 and it not being as conclusive as I know what's going on, but in my analysis videos I have to present objective data that is proof Otherwise, the artists and bands would say, well, no, that's not proof enough. We're going to take down your video. So this is why, I've got, I think, either 8 or 10 performances, and I've got all of the data from those. And the great thing is about that is that I might find 2 or 3 of the other 10 performances where the crowd shot footage all was very clear with the lead vocal in this case. So it means that we can get lines replicating lines finishing lines starting lines. So therefore it is absolutely conclusive, and all of the performances match up from a time perspective, all 10. As you can tell, there's a lot of preparation that goes into it, and it means that each analysis video is really a project that's taking probably a couple of days to set up, and then I do the video. So I know that for this week, because I've got those 2 videos that have been quite big projects, and they do relate to very well-known artists and well-known bands who have been doing it for a very long time. So this is why I have to make sure everything's absolutely watertight. So for those 2 videos, they'll be happening this week, probably, well, maybe Friday and Sunday, and maybe next Wednesday. I've got to sort out the 3rd video as well, which again, it might be another really well-known artist, but it's getting the data. It's getting all of the data that I need. But I think in this 3rd case, it's going to be a little bit more obvious, because it's a different kind of question regarding live performances that they're doing. And I'm talking about recent live performances. So to answer the question, my favourite projects are the ones that I do, my analysis videos, because I do find it interesting to just find out what's going on, who's doing what live, and the general trends that are happening. The more people are starting to do a particular thing rather than the other thing that they used to do. The other project, Authentic Vocal, I'll say that's my favourite project as well, because it's something that, I'm going to obviously get more into that in the future when I have a little bit more time. But these 2 things go hand in hand, all the things that I do in my analysis videos, and then all of the things that I'm going to be doing with Authentic Vocal in the future, to hopefully make it a little bit more obvious as to what you're going to be paying your money for. And I won't have to do analysis videos all the time, because you'll just have to look for the logo that I provide on different tours and live shows to know that is the registered trademark, that it is going to be something that is going to be fully live. So anyway, thank you for that. And Karen has donated $20. Thank you for that, Karen. The message is, hi Phil, congrats on hitting 498,000 subscribers. Here's a quote from Peace Pilgrim. Anything you cannot relinquish when it's outlived its usefulness possesses you. Care to share your thoughts? Thanks for being you. Cheers, Karen. So thank you for that. I guess that's to do with hoarding, when you just keep hold of lots of stuff. I'd say that I think most people keep things, or keep more things than they should, but there's definitely a line as to where you start keeping things, and it's, if it's starting to be collecting it on your carpet, and it's always on your table, and you're starting to get in the way from you going from room to room, then I think, that's potentially a problem. And generally, with stuff that I throw out, I always think, right, have I used that in the last 6 months, for example? And if the answer is no, then it's probably going to get thrown away. Obviously, there are other things like, music equipment that you think, well, if I had to do a video that was either, like this, or like an interview or something like that, then I would need those pieces of equipment. So that kind of stuff, even though I haven't used it in 6 months, I don't throw it out, because I will need it in the future potentially. But other things like, just, I guess the things that I have are products that come with products. So if you buy something for your hair, for example, or like some vitamins or minerals that come in a packet, and when they send that out, they give you another box or something to try their other version of another thing that's supposed to be good for you. So it means now you've got 2 bottles of things, whereas you only ordered 1 bottle. So then if you like the first bottle, you order a second bottle and they send you another free bottle of something else. So you end up with not just the bottle that you've ordered, but other samples of other stuff. I get loads of that with hair, shampoo as well. You buy your shampoo and then they give you, oh, try this special conditioner stuff that we've got. It's like, well, yeah, but I didn't order that. So yeah, generally I have to have a clean out of all the other products that they send me. And I used to think, oh, well, I'll try it or I'll keep it just in case I want to try it in the future. But I've realised that I never try it in the future. I just use what I've used before. So yeah, I often need to have a clear out of just all the free stuff that gets sent along that, yeah, I didn't order in the first place. But anyway, I know that people do keep all kinds of different things. And yeah, especially the hoarder type of person, they hang on to stuff that, yeah, they've got an emotional connection to, or something that it reminds, the thing reminds them of something from the past. And I think that's half the problem, is that they might remember or get a receipt for, I don't know, McDonald's in 1998. And they look at it and think, oh, I remember that. I'm going to keep that receipt because this reminds me of that particular memory that I've got. So they keep that thing. And then once you're keeping stuff that reminds you of stuff, that's going to be never ending because we're always doing stuff as humans. So yeah, I understand the link that people have. And yes, it's very difficult, especially if things are connected to very strong memories. Then yeah, it's very difficult to get rid of things. But there are, I saw this show called Hoarders, and there are things where you think, well, that's not being kept for any reason. Like, somebody eating a KFC and then not throwing it out so that you've got the bones in the bucket and it's left there for 3 years. You think, well, that's not an emotional attachment to those bones of the chicken. So anyway, moving on. I got a bit sidetracked there, but thank you for that, Karen. Diamond Girl 1234 has donated $5. Thank you for that. And the message is, please vote for A Design for Life. You will not be disappointed. Promise. So thank you for that. And it looks like Miles Away is in the lead at the moment with 56% of the vote. And right, I am going to jump over to the PayPal window because there's just been a couple of donations in there. So thank you guys for these. Cindy donated £20. And Cindy says, hi Phil, I've noticed that some artists like Oasis and Ed Sheeran get a lot of negative responses in your comment section, even though they are performing fully live. Why do you think certain artists inspire such strong negative feelings in people? Is it just because they are so successful? So thank you for that. And I don't know the answer to that, why some people like particular artists and don't like other artists. And it doesn't really matter whether somebody's doing something live or not. If somebody doesn't like them, then yeah, they're still not going to like them. So I think professionally, you've got to respect people that I'm talking from a professional musician point of view. You've got to respect people that are genuinely doing it and have that level of talent and have worked at it for that long in order to do a fully live performance. But I mean, the other thing is that you can have, and Oasis are a good example here, where they have very strong views on things, like personal views that are nothing to do with their music. And people can't separate those two things. So the personal view, if they don't agree with that personal view, then they don't like the music, because they're judging the music on the personal view. They're not judging the music on what it is. So yeah, you got that side of things. And I've, had that under some of my analysis videos, where all I'm doing is analysing a performance. But then people have said, oh, I can't believe that you've featured this person because of their views on this or that, because they might have had a view politically that the person didn't agree with. But, and generally it's over in the USA, and I'm in the UK, so I don't follow what's going on, and especially which band or artist has a particular political view that is against some people in the USA, but then for other people. And this is the thing about politics, it divides everybody. So all I'm doing is just looking at performance, but still, I get comments saying, "Oh, I can't believe that you featured this artist, given their views." It's like, well, I don't know anything about their views. I'm just literally listening to this piece of music, this sound, and I'm analysing what's going on. I'm not analysing anything political or any views or anything. So, that's just the problem, that people can't sometimes divide their personal opinion of the person from what they're listening to and appreciating that musically. And Oasis, I mean, they've said loads of things that people disagree with, and things that I disagree with as well. When I think that they had a go at, for some reason, I don't know why, they had a go at Phil Collins. I don't know what the reason was, but I think Phil Collins took that very personally, unfortunately. And for me, I think if you're going to start saying negative things about other people in the industry who not only have written great songs, but are really, really accurate performers live. I said that about Phil Collins the other day, maybe on a live stream, about if you just type in his performances, he is so solid vocally, and was so solid vocally, and has that professionalism, the instrumental ability, all these different things. And he's not a showman. He's not going to go out there and be crazy or put on crazy outfits. But from a musician's perspective, I think you can't knock what he does, what he did live as well. When you're looking at the fact that he has done it for so many years, and there's all the evidence of that. You can look through performances. If you want to go back, decades, you can do and see that he's always been consistent and had great songs. And professionally, I don't think you can have a go at him at all. So it's a shame that whatever they said kind of affected him personally. But I don't know, because I would say that when a band have a go at another artist or another band, and they are not vastly superior to that other artist, then I don't think you're really giving yourself a strong foundation. Because you can say that if you're looking at sales figures, live performances, when you're analysing their live performances and how good they are, how accurate they are to the original recordings, then you can say, well, there's no way that you can put Oasis far and above Phil Collins with his live performances. And when you are a professional musician yourself and you analyse things, you can see the level that both acts are at for their live performances. And if one band is having a go at another band, you think, well, looking at this objectively, there's no foundation for that, given the performances that are provided by one band compared to the other band or artist. So that is a shame. And I know that some artists, obviously Phil Collins is someone who might be kind of conscious of, and certainly he thought that he couldn't sing, and that's why he didn't sing, but then started singing, or at least it's almost like he fell into singing because of the situation he was in. So he might have that tendency to not be as confident in his own abilities. So when another band or artist have a go at you as an artist, you might feel like, I don't know, they are attacking you personally. And that might have been how he felt. But I always go back to the only reason that you can get affected by something negatively, when somebody gives you a bad comment or says something bad about you, even if it's another band or artist, you have to respect that artist in order for their opinion to even matter. So I mean, maybe Phil Collins did respect Oasis, and that's why it affected him. But I would say that if a band, any band out there, had a go at me personally for what I did, then I would look at what they do. And if they were vastly superior, and I thought, well, I can never do what they are doing. If I thought that, then I might think, it's a bit, I don't know, I wouldn't say it's depressing. It might be a little bit annoying, but it wouldn't stop me doing what I'm doing, because that's what art's about. Everyone doesn't have to love what you do. They can either like it or lump it, it's up to them. As long as you're doing what you do, that's the most important thing. And as long as you're enjoying it, that's the most important thing as well. But if there was another band that, say for example, sang and played guitar and, you know, maybe had guitar solos in there, then I think, well, I can do what they're doing. And I've done lots of cover videos, so I know what I can do. So I think, well, I can do what you do. You might be able to do what I do, but, you know, it's one of those things that you can only really value opinions of those people that you do respect and look up to. If you think you can do what the other person does, then you think, well, yeah, you know, fair enough. You can have your view, but, you know, it doesn't really affect you that much. So, yeah, that would be my advice really for life. And I'm going to skip this. Yeah, my advice for life is that if people leave you silly comments, you know, trolls, all that kind of stuff, and you don't even know who that person is, then you can't value their opinion. It's impossible, because you've got no way of determining what they are like as a person, and even like ethically how they are as a human, whether they're even a good human. So you think, well, yeah, if somebody's making a negative comment, you can't validate that in any way. So just, you know, leave it. It doesn't matter. It's when, you get the people that you do know of, and this is something that I refer to in my comments section, that sometimes people say, oh, who are you? What have you ever done? Who cares about your opinion? You know, nobody cares, all that kind of stuff. I just forward them to my bio where I've got quotes from people that they will know who have said that they watch the channel and like what I do. So you think that's how you've got to gauge things. Like if everybody in the professional industry that you're in is coming out and slagging off everything that you're doing, then you think, okay, well, maybe I have a rethink. But if most people get in touch saying that they like what you do, and if people like, you know, Steve Lukather is talking about my channel on Rick Beato's channel when he's being interviewed, and talking about it in a positive light, you got to think, well, I'd much rather that kind of thing of people that, you know their stuff and I've got respect for. I'd rather they're talking positively, and all the other people who might be trolls, their negativity is totally irrelevant, because they aren't the people that I respect. So anyway, that is that. Right, I think that was a long answer to Cindy's question, but thank you for that, Cindy, for that donation. And Sue's donated £20 as well, so thank you for that, Sue. And the message is, the new handles that YouTube is showing instead of the normal usernames. For example, mine is showing up as Hermes Ninja instead of Sue. It's YouTube's way of preventing impersonations and scams. Bothersome, but hope it cuts down on people using fake accounts. Cheers to 498,000 handles. subscribers. So thank you for that. I wonder if this is maybe related to the Telegram scams that just seem to have been going on for years, where they impersonate your account, and they've impersonated my account more times than I can count. So they have wings underscore of Pegasus, or wings underscore of underscore Pegasus, or wings of a Pegasus, and all these different variations. I wonder if that's going to now cut that out. I have to keep an eye on it, because touch wood, and I'll touch a guitar because it's within reach. Hopefully, I can't remember seeing that Telegram scam recently. I might be wrong, but maybe that is what YouTube has had to do, because that scam, it's like a scam bot. It means that it just automatically makes loads of fake versions of your channel or your username, and they use my picture, so it's the official picture that they're using all the time and pretending to be me. And they do this on all kinds of channels, because I've seen it all over the place, and it's something that I think creators do message each other about and saying, are you getting this ridiculous Telegram scam. And yes, sometimes I do message other creators when I see it in their comment section, just to let them know that it's, you know, what it is, and that it is a scam trying to get people to send money thinking that, you know, the scam people are actually you. So yeah, hopefully that will get rid of that particular scam. So we will see, fingers crossed. But thank you for that. So right now we are just past midnight, and we're looking for 445 likes for tonight. So if you could hit that thumbs up, that would be very much appreciated, because then we will bust out the guitar and have a jam at the end of the live stream. Jam number 258. That's what it shall be. So right, maybe we'll jump into some random questions. And I wonder if, how do I get to this? I click that, go to questions, and yeah, this is why it's annoying, because the top question I can't see clearly because it's hidden behind the Q&A thing. And maybe if I get rid of the Q&A thing, end Q&A, confirm, will that move it out of the way? Now it's made the cover vote even bigger, so hopefully it's going to disappear. Right, oh, that's pretty good. I think I can see everything now. So oh, it's gone back to top chat. Oh, it's only just deleted all of the questions. In order to get it out of the way, I said end Q&A. I was assuming that it's going to just now log all of the questions that have been asked, but no, it's going to remove all of the questions so that I can't see them anymore. So thank you guys for all of your questions that have now disappeared, because YouTube is stupid. And now, oh, hang on. Do we still have the vote going at the top of the live chat room? Yes, we do. So at least the vote's still going, but all of the questions have now disappeared. So I'm going to look into the live chat room. And now we've learned, I mean, this is only the second time that I've done that Q&A thing, and last time we were learning about it. Now we know that if I end the Q&A session, all of the questions now get deleted, which just seems it does seem mental to me, that because surely you think, right, now no more questions, I'll read out some of the questions. Surely that's how it should work. Not right, no more questions, let's end the questions and get them all to disappear. But anyway, I'm going to have a look into the live chat room, and if I see any questions in there, then I will read them out and answer them. Oh, and by the way, look at my water bottle. So this is 2 litres, and I was thinking actually earlier that imagine if this bottle was like 750 milliliters, and it's just that I was really small. I thought that'd be really funny. But yeah, so this is my 2 litre water bottle, and you might not be able to see it, but I'd say there's maybe 1/5 left of it. And this is just, I fill this up every day and have a drink from it. And it's quite good because it's got a hole at the top, so it means that when you drink from it, it pours out smoothly, rather than having to, you know, kind of squeeze it or, you know, squirt it all over your face by accident and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to have a quick drink. It is still working. And oh, okay, right. So I was going to say, I'll wait for some questions to come through. But Melody Rocks 5 says, how often should you change your guitar strings? So the answer for that is as regularly as you need to. It's all about how much you use it, how much I mean, it also depends on the sound. If you always want that really bright, you know, active sound of new strings, then you'll have to replace them quite regularly. But generally, I'd say it depends what you're doing. Like, for every gig, I would put on a new set of strings. And I know that's not for everybody, because some people might say, oh, well, if I have, you know, 2 or 3 shows in a week, then I'll just use the same strings. But the problem that I've got is that I always try to cover every angle. So if I played a show and my strings are fine because I've just put on new strings, that'd be great. Let's say a couple of days later is the next show, and then I play live again. And I think playing live is just a totally different scenario because you have, you know, hot lights there and you're sweating, and, you know, sometimes the sweat will get on the guitar and will get on the strings. So then there's a potential that they're going to rust, you know, when you put your guitar away before then the next show. So I think that for some reason, just playing live can potentially just damage strings at like 100 times the rate that they normally get damaged. So anyway, let's say, for example, the second gig was fine. And then you might have a couple of days where you've now got the third gig. If my strings broke live, and especially when you're playing a Floyd Rose, as I do and have done with my Ibanez Geo, if you break a string on a Floyd Rose bridge, that's it. Because the bridge is dependent on the tension of the strings. That's what's holding it in tune. So if you break a string, it means now you've lost a sixth of the tension on that bridge. So it's going to move, which means all of the other strings now will be out of tune. And as soon as you tighten up one string, it brings the bridge higher up. So you then have to tighten another string, and that will go higher up again. So it's going to be an absolute disaster. And you're never going to be able to retune a Floyd Rose bridge in, you know, 5 or 10 seconds between songs. And even still, if it goes during a song, all of your chords will now be out of tune. You literally can't do anything about it. So anyway, it means that if a string broke on my guitar, I would have no excuse, because I think, well, I know what playing live is like, and I know that I'm 3 shows into these strings where I'm, you know, doing all of my solos, doing all the bends that I normally do, which sometimes are a bit crazy, using the, you know, Floyd Rose, doing dive bombs, all this kind of stuff. So this is why before every gig I changed my strings, and will change my strings to make sure that I know the strings are new, that they've got as much life in them as humanly possible. So this is it, that when somebody does break a string live, I always think to myself, I wonder how many shows they've done with those strings, because I can guarantee you they didn't put those on before they started playing. Those will be old strings, because yeah, I've never experienced strings breaking, you know, after a set or during a set when they are new. I mean, you've got the other, you know, argument. If you are talking about Floyd Rose strings, maybe a guitarist who's very well known, they might get their guitar tech to do it for them. They would, because that's their job. And then they might break a string live, but they haven't actually broken a string. It might be that the string wasn't seated properly, you know, in the bridge, and it means that it was in there. But as soon as you do a bend and you increase the tension on that string, it might now come out, so that the string hasn't broken. It's been, you know, I mean, a guitar tech shouldn't be messing that kind of thing up, but there's every chance that might happen if obviously you get fired, but it could be somebody else's fault. But again, in which case, I always, you know, would do it myself. I'd make sure that I know everything's going to be as safe as it can be before going on stage. I don't really trust anyone to do anything. They say if you want a job done, or if you want a job done properly, do it yourself. So that's what I do, and that's what I would advise. But anyway, so that's that question. Yeah, as often as you need to, and if you are playing live, always err on the side of playing with new strings rather than old strings. Lydia says, what do you see yourself doing in 25 years? Wow, that means I'm going to be 25. Okay, right. So I'll be almost 70. So in 25 years, I don't know. Am I still going to be doing this? I don't know. It depends what happens with Authentic Vocal. What I would really like to have in 25 years is for the Authentic Vocal logo to be known, and just to be a regular thing. So people, when they're buying tickets to a show, they know what they're paying for. And I mean, that would be really cool. Whether I'll still be doing my analysis videos, maybe. I might be independently looking at particular shows to say what is, you know, real still and what isn't, but I don't know what's going to be happening in 25 years, because it's probably going to be an absolute AI nightmare. And yeah, music probably won't be made by humans anymore. So yeah, who knows? But Angela says, will you ever play the gem again? You always have the Strat plugged in. Do you need new strings? So yeah, the gem needs new strings. And this is the thing. It's a Floyd Rose bridge. If the string goes during a fill jam, then that's going to be it all over. Yeah, it's just the Strat that's always plugged in. So that's just what I tend to, well, I can see in the monitor which guitar is plugged in. So I always just look at the monitor and I know where the guitars are, just turn around, grab it, and then we're good to go, rather than switching between guitars. And sometimes it's fun to play over a track that should be for the gem, that's, you know, really heavy, you know, metal or hard rock, and then play the Strat and see if you can do something on the Strat that kind of fits it, or kind of fits quite well with it. So it's a bit of a challenge as well to get the Strat to be able to play along to everything. And this is the problem, I think, with the gem. If it's a very clean backing track, then there's not a lot you can do, because the gem isn't really designed for, you know, the same kind of sound you'd get from, you know, the neck pickup, for example, on the Fender Strat. You know, they're totally different sounds, because, you know, the gem, as you can see here, you can see the amount of humbucker action we've got going on there. So yeah, it is very much a more aggressive sounding guitar. So yeah, for my ear and to my ear, it doesn't really lend itself to what might be, because I don't know what I'm going to be playing along with. It might be totally unsuited for the backing track, whereas the Strat I can make sound heavy, or I can, you know, pull it back and make it sound clean, and it sounds really nice clean. So anyway, thank you for that. And scroll down. Karen says, if a time machine brought us back to the music of the 1980s, how would you respond? I don't know. I'd probably say it's good. It is better to be back in the days where yeah, a lot of the music, I mean, it was so competitive back then for, you know, guitar techniques and singing and all that kind of stuff, and people singing things that they probably shouldn't have been singing, and potentially yeah, ruining the vocal cords. But in terms of, yeah, the music generally, I think was great, and I think it was probably more to my taste because of the lack of technology, that you couldn't go in and edit every, you know, consonant, and well, consonant you can't edit for pitch because it's just a sound. When I say a sound, like a t or a s, you know, it doesn't have any pitch to it. But then when you get into the vowels are the ones that have the pitch. So going in and editing every single vowel, yeah, you can do that now, but back in the day, singers had to just do more takes, or speed up tape, or slow down tape, and yeah, there are things that they could do, but it wasn't just, you know, an A440 standard pitch equal temperament calibration, which is what it is now. Any edits that had to happen, they might listen to it and think, oh, we need to do that again, so they'll try and do it again. They'll listen to it, and if they still think, oh, it's still not quite where we want it, they're trying to listen as to how to improve it. They're not looking at it on a graph, which is what happens now. So anyway, thank you for the questions. We are going to be jumping into tonight's cover video, which looks like it's going to be Miles Away, with 55% of the vote. I think that's it. 54 is what it's ended up with. So 54 for Miles Away. We'll jump into my version of the Winger Classic. And by the way, we're looking for 26 more people to hit the thumbs up so that we can have a fill jam. And the fill jam is 6 minutes and 2 seconds, which means we need to get that amount of likes in the next 7 minutes or something. So we need a spike of the likes. If there's anybody out there who hasn't hit the thumbs up yet, it'll be much appreciated if you could do that, so that I can have a go at fill jam number 258, whatever that's going to be. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this, my version of Miles Away by Winger, and I'll catch you guys after. Rock! Okay, so quick introduction to this next video. This is more of a tribute video to Kip Winger, as I've been to see Kip in London and with his band, Winger, numerous times, and once I even went to France just to watch Winger. So this is my tribute, and it's me playing and singing Miles Away, and I hope you like it. See you later. Rock!
So this is love, or so you tell me, as you're walking out the door. Months go by and I know for certain it's not the love I'm looking for. Sometimes, just for a moment, I reach out and hope you're still there, miles away. No, you're never turning back. I just can't wait anymore. Miles away, nothing left but what we had. Just when I needed you most, you were miles away. It's hard to tell what you're going through. You kept your feelings locked inside of you. Open your heart and chances are what you're feeling, I'm feeling too. If only just for a moment, hold on to the dreams that we had. Miles away, no, you're never turning back. I just can't wait anymore. Miles away, nothing left but what we had. Just when I needed you most, you were miles away. When times were tough, you were down and out. Who was there by your side? Now you're gone, I'm so tired of being alone, with only your promises. Miles away, no, you're never turning back. I just can't wait anymore. Miles away, nothing left but what we had. Just when I needed you most, you were miles and miles away. No, you're never turning back. I just can't wait anymore. Miles away, nothing left but what we had. Just when I needed you most, you were miles away.
And there we have it. That was my version of Miles Away by Winger. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Right, we've had another donation, or two donations in the super chat window, and a Diamond Girl 1234 has donated $2. Thank you for that. And there's a cat doing something, doing a thumbs up. And Rocking Babe has donated $9.99. Thank you for that. And the message is, hello Phil, do you really not miss performing live on stage? So thank you for that. And not really. I mean, I did it a lot. I have done it a lot. So I know what it's like. And I guess if it was something where everything was done for you, I think it's a totally different set of circumstances. Like if you are a signed band and you've got people that do stuff for you, i.e. all of the setting up and the lifting of your gear and traveling and all that kind of stuff, I know what it's like to do it independently. So it means that you carry all your gear yourself, you go to the venue yourself. More often than not, you're not going to get paid for original music. If you are an independent musician, you just have to go and play, and the venue, and talking about in the UK, the venue will make money from your being there and bringing people along, but you won't get paid for your playing. That's only something that happens with cover bands playing songs that everybody knows. So yeah, it's very difficult. If I think about, do I want to go back to lifting my amp, which is behind me, you can see there, it's quite big, it's very heavy, carrying that up and down flights of stairs, and with some of the shows, it might look good that you're on stage and it's very fancy, lots of lights and loads of people there, but you think, well, yeah, but you've broken your back in order to do it, and all the rehearsal that goes into it as well, because to play on stage, you've got to have your show rehearsed, which means you're relying on band members, and band members can let you down and be late for rehearsals, and there's all of that extra stuff. You have to pay for the rehearsals, of course, out of your own pocket. So there is so much that, I'm sure that when it's all done for you, it must be great. You just turn up and you play, and then you go home and everyone else packs it all up and you don't have to worry about anything. But yeah, doing it all yourself, there's so much to it. And I think independent musicians can appreciate what I'm talking about here. Like if you play the drums, I only had to carry that up and down stairs, but the drummer, we always helped our drummer out as much as possible, because it is such, first of all, a workout, just getting, especially if you're doing, playing at a venue that might include stairs, or having to get in a lift. Or I remember having to walk through Chinatown in London with all my gear, because obviously in London there's nowhere to park. So you can't take your gear on a train. So yeah, we all had to park miles away. No pun intended on the Winger tune. But anyway, yeah, so we were carrying our things through Chinatown, and Griff, my second guitarist, with his amplifier, he had wheels on his Marshall JCM 2000 he had. So he could wheel that through Chinatown. I was carrying that. I haven't got wheels. I didn't have wheels. I put wheels on it from that experience of going through Chinatown. But I imagine lifting that, and it's really awkward and wide, and you're trying to go around people in London, at 4 or 5 in the evening. London's always jam-packed. So, when you're talking about performing live, this is what I think about. All of the things that go with it. It's not just going up and performing. The performing is the easy bit. That only takes, however long your set is, 45 minutes or an hour. So you do your set, and then you've got to go through all of that again. So now I have to get my cabinet and my amplifier and go walk through Chinatown again to get back to my car, to where I've parked it. And then you might find that you've got a ticket, because even though you've paid, it was maybe £20 for half an hour. Some of the charges are crazy, so you've got to add that all into it. So there you go. I'm putting a very I'm sure you're now getting the gist that it's not really what it looks like from the outside when you're an independent musician. There's a hell of a lot of work that goes into it, but you do it for the love of the music, and I did it a lot. And if there was an event that somebody said, look, it's all organized, and this sounds like a real life story or one of my Phil tunes. It's all organised. Trust us. It's going to be great. You won't have to worry about anything. If it was organised by people that I do trust, then yes, of course, I would go and do a show. I would go and do shows, because the playing and singing is the easy part. It's all the rest of it that you think, is it worth 3 to 4 hours of lifting and all the stuff that I've said for 45 minutes or an hour of performing on stage? So I think when you're young, it's all fine, and you do it for maybe 5 years, 10 years, but then after that you think it's a lot of work to be doing it all yourself. And yeah, I'd rather just kind of have it all online and be able to perform live in my Phil Jams, because this is still, I'm not on the stage, but I guess technically, with a few hundred people watching potentially, you think, well, that'd still be quite a good gig. It's just that I'm doing it in my studio room rather than out there, and I haven't had to lift anything. I'm bringing the audience to me, which is always a positive. So anyway, there've been more donations. So Rocking Babe donated $9.99 again. Thank you for that, and says just want to let you know you look awesome. So thank you for that. Elaine says TikTok, $2. Thank you for that. Rocking Babe, $9.99 again. Thank you for that, and says I second the previous comment about you looking awesome. So thank you for that. Right now, we have a picture corner as well. Oh my, right. We're really going to have to do this quickly. So let's jump into here, grab this, and it doesn't matter that it's off to the side. So this is from Connie, who says, who knew? Today is Home Sewing Machine Day. Here are 3 of my favourite singers: Peace, Love and Rock. So thank you for that. And the singers, I don't know about that guy at the back, but they're sewing machines. I know that was kind of a make of what one of them was called. A very, I don't know, they must make more modern singers, but what I'm talking about is the really old versions that were obviously not mechanical, but I'm sure the company must still be going. But anyway, so there we have this singers, machines and me. Right, let's get this off screen. Click on that. Guitar check, mic check. Mic check 1 2. Okay, right, let's click on this advert, mute. This is rock ballad backing track in F sharp minor, and this is coming from Dope's Tracks, DOPEZ Tracks. So zoom out as well. Skip the advert. We're doing this all at super speed. I can't hear anything. What's going on? As for the levels, who knows what's happening? I can't hear anything. Not a good start. What is happening? Here we go. Changes. And there we have it. That was the end. And that was actually very nicely timed, because I did a bend and I just let it ring out, and because I'm playing the Strat, didn't have a lot of sustain on there, so it died, but exactly when the backing track randomly stopped. So there we have it. That was Rock Ballad backing track in F sharp minor, and that's from Dope's Tracks, Dopez Tracks. If you guys want to have a go jamming along to that one. So more often than not, the sudden ends always catch me out, but that happened at just the perfect time. So, right, that is it. We got there in the end. That is the end of tonight's live stream. So thank you guys for tuning in. And I'm going to be here with another video tomorrow night, of course. And I'll be live streaming on Saturday night as well. So if you guys can join me then, again, that would be much appreciated, because I'm going to need every single thumbs up I can get to have a Phil Jam on Saturday night as well. And yeah, if you're watching this in the future on catch up, you can still hit the thumbs up. It really does help the channel to get out there a little bit more, and just for it to grow on the whole. So anyway, all that's left for me to say is try to stay as safe and as sane as possible in this crazy world in which we live. Have a fantastic rest of your week, and I will catch you guys at the next one. Rock!